Hi. Hola.
Hi, here's Mr. Dozy.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike MercurialX Proximo 2 indoors in the latest Floodlights Glow Pack colorway. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes. They do not come with any extras, and as you can see, they are very, very bright orange with some glow-in-the-dark elements that you're actually going to get to see glowing a little bit later in the video. So of course, in this video, we are going to take a closer look at the colorway itself. We're going to talk tech specs, performance, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more about what is essentially an indoor version of the Superfly 5, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the very first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $175 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, pop up on screen, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. Starting off with the colorway, you can very clearly see that these are bright neon orange. You technically have 3 shades of orange on the shoe, listed as follows: total orange, bright citrus, and hyper crimson, as well as glow-in-the-dark elements scattered throughout. Now, the upper, as you can see, is a translucent Nike skin covering, so the orange is within the Flyknit itself, which is kind of cool. So you do get the 3 shades of orange: a darkest orange, a slightly lighter orange, then a lighter orange than that. And again, it just looks very, very cool. The parts of the shoe that actually glow in the dark are the main Nike swoosh here on the front, the little MercurialX branding right here, the Nike swoosh on the medial side, and then of course the rubber outsole. And I'll flash a little image on screen of the shoes actually glowing. It is actually a pretty cool effect. I know a lot of you guys will leave comments, what's the point of glow-in-the-dark soccer shoes if you don't play soccer in the dark? I see your argument, I get what you're saying, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they shouldn't do something cool for the sake of the colorway. Again, obviously you're not going to play soccer in the dark, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't add glow-in-the-dark elements just for the sake of doing something a little bit different. The only aspect of this particular colorway that I think they missed out on a little bit is the fact that it does not have orange glow-in-the-dark laces. These are just regular orange laces. Luckily, SR4U Laces does make glow-in-the-dark ones, so I'll flash a little image on screen of the shoes with those laces glowing in the dark, just because it's kind of a cool effect. So if you are interested in a pair of SR4U laces, there'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below that'll take you to the website where you can get some glow-in-the-dark laces if that's something that you'd like for your Floodlights Glow Pack MercurialX Proximo 2. So that's pretty much it as far as the colorway is concerned. I think they're pretty cool, maybe a little bit too bright for my taste, but everyone does like bright shoes. That seems to be the case, especially amongst the younger generation. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, this is an indoor or turf version of the Superfly 5. That's really the best way to put it. It's the upper of the Superfly with an indoor or turf bottom, depending on which one you go for. This, of course, is the indoor variation, but at essentially half the price of a pair of Superfly 5s. Those retail from $300 US. These guys retail for $175, so still very expensive, but essentially half the price of a regular pair of Superflies. So with the upper itself, it's essentially everything you would get with a normal pair of Superfly 5s, minus ACC all conditions control. It doesn't have the branding, it doesn't have the feature, but as I've mentioned many times in my videos before, I really don't think ACC is a big deal. So not having it on this shoe isn't really going to make or break your experience, in my opinion. As far as the upper itself is concerned, it is a Flyknit construction, as you can clearly see, and within that Flyknit you do have the kind of ribbed texturing running throughout the entire upper, the speed rib system they call it, which has a variation in thickness between 1 and 2.5 millimeters. So if you run your finger along it, and you can pretty clearly see it on screen, it does have that variation in texture along the surface, which is noticeable when you touch it with your hand, but not so noticeable on the ball. I'll be completely honest about that. With that being said, the overall thickness of the upper is still fairly thin, and it does provide more of a barefoot sensation with a slight amount of cushion to it because of just the knitted material itself. It does have that sock-like feel to a certain extent, and the shoe does wrap your foot very closely, so you get that one-to-one connection when you pull the laces tight. Speaking of pulling the laces tight, there are flywire cables that run directly through the lacing system, so from the base of the sole directly to the lace holes. So when you pull the laces, it pulls on those cables and really does a good job of securing the midfoot and forefoot area inside of the shoe, not allowing your foot to slide from side to side, giving you that perfect wrap, and just locking your foot in place in general, which adds to the overall responsive lockdown sensation that you do get from this particular shoe that you'd also get in a pair of Superfly 5s. Moving on to the rear of the shoe, you will have an internal plastic heel counter. For the Proximo, the indoor version, they did add this little kind of extra piece here that does have some very slight foam to it. I suppose they put it there for back heels. Again, not a noticeably different thing in comparison to what you'll get on a regular pair of Superflies, but it is something that they did incorporate for whatever reason. You do of course have the dynamic fit collar, the mid-cut design, which is made from an elasticated fly knit extending through the midfoot area where the actual laces are positioned through the middle of the shoe. And the collar itself, just like all the other collars, it's there more so as kind of a looks thing. It does change up the fit in the heel ever so slightly, something I'll talk about later in the video, but it doesn't provide any ankle support. It doesn't restrict your movement in any way. It's again, just kind of the popular thing to do at the moment. Moving on to the inside, you do have an insole that is fully removable. It features a mesh liner on top and is made from a single layer of this ortholite foam. Nothing too fancy, but it does get the job done. And then internally, you do have a synthetic leather liner, as you would on a pair of Superfly 5s. The midsole now, this is kind of the more controversial aspect of the Proximo 2 variation of this shoe. The original Proximo had a Phylon midsole like these do, but it was a little bit more low profile, at least looked more low profile. And I will say this is kind of a more substantial, slightly higher off the ground cushioning setup than we got from the original indoor Superfly, if you will, the indoor version of the Superfly 4. But despite how this looks, I know a lot of people assume that this midsole is where your foot sits on the inside of the shoe. That's not actually the case. You sit about this low into the midsole. So you're actually pretty low profile in the forefoot area and toe box, while in the heel there's a little bit of underfoot cushioning, which I personally prefer to have, but I know some people just want the more minimal feel. Like I said, the midsole is a Phylon foam, so you do get some decent underfoot cushioning. It looks a little bit more substantial right here on the medial side, but again, not something you really feel when your foot is inside of the shoe. And then of course, moving to the toe box and forefoot area, the rubber from the outsole does kind of lip over. You have the nylon stitching, and that's of course there for durability reasons to prevent the sole plate and upper from tearing and of course separating. Moving on to the bottom, this of course is the indoor variation where you do get this kind of tri-star pattern for the traction pattern itself. It's a nice kind of durable rubber material, but it does have some flexibility to it as well. So as far as traction is concerned, it actually does work quite well in indoor courts. And if you do want to use these on concrete, asphalt, in a street soccer type environment, they do hold up quite well too. So overall, it's a pretty good outsole. Like I said, not quite as low profile as I think some people would have wanted them to be, but definitely out of the Hypervenoms, the Magistas, the Tiempos, well, that's the other three. Out of all the indoor lines that they have, the MercurialX line does have the most low profile setup, meaning that you're going to be the closest to the ground with the least amount of underfoot cushioning. That was the case with the last variation of models. That's the case with the current generation of models. So all in all, if you are looking for an indoor version of the Superfly 5, this is still the best shoe out there for you. As far as weight is concerned, these are nowhere near as light as a pair of firm ground Superfly 5s. And of course that has to do with the midsole and rubber outsole, which does add a lot of weight to the overall package. So I'm gonna weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're gonna throw them on the scale and you can see that they weigh in at 10.2 ounces, the equivalent of 289 grams. So they are essentially 3 ounces plus more than a pair of firm ground Superfly 5s, which is a noticeable amount of weight. So they're not necessarily the lightest thing on your feet. With that being said, they did add a good amount of rubber this time around, so durability is going to be a stronger aspect of this shoe, and it should be at the $175 price point. So they went for more rubber, better durability, better longevity in general for the sake of a little bit of extra weight. Is that a bad call? Not necessarily, but again, that would really depend on your own personal opinion. So again, if you want an indoor version of the Superfly 5, this is still gonna offer the best feel that's most similar to that shoe, but unfortunately, the weight aspect isn't really all that similar. All right, so here is a look at the MercurialX Proximo 2s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of light coral glow-in-the-dark SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video, and there'll also be a little pop-up on screen. So if you are interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check it out. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, the general shape and fit of the shoe is somewhat similar to that of the Superfly 5, which shouldn't be too surprising because this is the upper of the Superfly. I will say that underfoot, obviously the feel is a lot different given that you don't have the standard Nike plate sole plate. You have a Phylon midsole, so the amount of underfoot cushioning you get is fairly low profile in the forefoot toe box area. You get a little bit more, I guess, bulk in the heel and midfoot, a decent amount of underfoot cushioning without being, I guess, overly cushioned. They don't feel mushy under feet by any means. And as far as the upper is concerned, it wraps your foot very snug. It's not quite as tight as what you're gonna get from a regular pair of Superflies, but still pretty tight, kind of offering that second skin fit. The Flyknit is soft. It does have that sock-like sensation on your foot. And as far as the heel area is concerned, again, it's a mid-cut model from Nike. Take your time with the break-in process. Don't wear these straight into a game or free kick session. As long as you break them in slowly, you shouldn't have too many issues in regards to discomfort. As far as width is concerned, like I said, it is a tighter fitting shoe. So if you have wide feet, probably not the best option for you. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Nike MercurialX Proximo 2 indoors in the Floodlights Glow Pack colorway. If you guys are interested to pair for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the first link down below, or you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen. On that page, you will find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $175 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.